Judge, known as a crusader against government corruption, is the front-runner so far. The ballots are counted by hand, so it may take more than a week to get final results. 3 climbers who were stranded by a blizzard Saturday on Mount Hood have been flown to safety. Searchers rescued them Monday, halfway up the 11,000-foot mountain in Oregon. The climbers didn't have any bad weather clothing or survival gear with them. They faced snow, fog, high winds, and wind chill temperatures of 40 degrees below zero, surviving by taking turns in a sleeping bag. Tonight on Dateline NBC, it's known as body dysmorphic disorder, people imagining that they are ugly. It can be devastating, and it's surprisingly common. Dateline NBC at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. That's the news now at 8:33. Bryant and Katie.
All righty. Thanks very much, Margaret. Willard is in the light rough down at Bethesda Country Club to show us the fairway. Willard.
The fairway is the NBC way. And speaking of the NBC way, I want you to know what you're missing, Bryant, in case you haven't come down here. These are the balls we're playing with here at the tournament. We bring good things to light. I'll go back to 2 things that I want to mention that is as much fun as these 144 very talented ladies are going to be having here, and the fact that they'll be also earning some big money when it comes to $1 million. An awful lot of the charity money goes to children's hospitals all over the country and the Komen Foundation for Breast Cancer Research. And some of these golfers have actually had breast cancer. And right now, let's do a birthday salute for our birthday fans. Take a look from Hallmark Mary Cooper, who is from Tampa, Florida. Pretty's are pictured 101. And Helen Bailey, as we turn the page of life. Chagrin Falls, Ohio. I love that town. 100, retired at the age of 92 from the jewelry business. Beautiful day here in Bethesda. NBC Saturday and Sunday. You'll see the LPGA right on NBC from Bethesda, Maryland, right outside of Washington, D.C. Now, here's what's happening in your world, even as we speak.
Good morning. I'm meteorologist Alan Eustace. Partly cloudy skies today, an easterly breeze, high temperatures 70 to 75. Tonight, partly cloudy, lows near 50. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, highs near 80.
That's it. That's all. Marked down from 4. It's 398. And here's Bryant Gumbel in New York.
All right, Willie, thanks. In light of all that's recently happened in Los Angeles, you'd think the LAPD would be treading lightly, avoiding any possible charges of more racial harassment. Well, think again. Harassment is exactly what Al Joyner is claiming. An Olympic gold medalist, he was twice stopped, detained, and unnecessarily handcuffed by LAPD officers on Friday while on his way to a meeting in Los Angeles. And Al's in our studios in Burbank this morning. Al, good morning.
Good morning, Brian.
Let's go back to Friday. You were driving in Hollywood. Give me the condensed version of what happened.
Yes, I was driving in Hollywood on Sunset, and I saw a police car pull behind me and 2 other police cars, and then I immediately pulled over to my right-hand side, and they ordered me out of the car on a loudspeaker, and at that time, they told me to turn off my engine, and then I turned off my engine, but before I turned off my engine, I unbuckled my seatbelt, and at that time, a little angel was on my shoulder and told me not to go for my wallet. So then, when I turned around, the police was in a crouch position with his gun pointed dead at my face and head, and that he could have blew me away if anybody would have said boo, and it was 4 to 5 police cars out there in their gun position also drawn.
They handcuffed you on the ground?
What they did was told me to get out of the car, and then they handcuffed me, told me to get on my knees, and then I was face the public, and at the same time, I felt like I was being raped by LAPD. That's exactly the way I felt.
What did they think you did, Al? Why'd they stop you?
I don't know. I don't know why they stopped me, because they never asked for my driver's license until after they had ran their license plates again, and they said that it was the car belonged to my wife, Florence. And then that's when they started bursting. But at that time, they still did not ask for my driver's license until they was unhandcuffing me later. Okay,
so they realized their mistake. You got back in your car. You headed out. How long before you were stopped again?
Not even 2 minutes. The
same guys?
Same group of policemen. But this time, when I pulled out, it was one group of policemen that followed me, and they pulled me over. And then the 2 lady detectives also came up behind. But at the time, they ordered me. I got out of my car this time. I jumped out of my car, and I said, "What's the problem?" They said that your car has been in a hit and run. And I said, "Hit and run?" They said it was a burgundy RX-7, a black guy with a baseball cap. Because first they said they ran my license plates wrong and they couldn't see it. But as you see here, I think you can read LA track pretty well.
Once they realized their mistake, did their attitude change at all?
No, because they didn't even apologize to me, and I think that's what hurt the most.
And let me read you what a detective from the LAPD Hollywood Division, where you were pulled over, says, Al. He says that, quote, you were acting like something was wrong.
I have to laugh at that, because if you call driving down, going down the street, not doing nothing, I had my window down. I wasn't playing no loud music. I knew my destination where I was going. I knew the address where I was going. I wasn't confused in Los Angeles, and I don't know what acting wrong, what that means.
Yeah. Did you file an official complaint of police harassment?
Yes, my legal attorneys are looking into that now.
Yeah. Al Joyner, thanks very much for being with us. I appreciate it. Sorry it had to be under these circumstances. We're going to come on back in just a moment. It's 8:38. We're back right after this.
The legendary Trane Climatough compressor, stout heart of Trane air conditioners. In a test like this, engineers have been pushing a Trane compressor to its limits, trying to make it fail. They've been trying and trying for over 20 years. Designed, tested, and manufactured to last. It's hard to stop a Trane.
Yeah, we milk about 200 head a day. No, couldn't drink a drop. I'm the dairy farmer who couldn't drink milk.
How's his legs?
I think my stomach could go crazy. No milk and cookies for Miriam. But that was before they came out with Dairy Ease milk. It's great. Finally, I can enjoy real milk like anybody else. Even the cows seem to respect me more.
And to enjoy other dairy products, try Dairy Ease tablets. It's only natural that children look to their parents for answers. So to help you explain why some things that may be fine for adults aren't right for children, Anheuser-Busch offers Family Talk, free advice from professionals to use with your kids while they're still learning to be grown up. And their favorite teacher is you. Let's stop underage drinking before it starts.
America's Trident submarine is considered top of the line. The Pentagon calls it the backbone of our defense. But with the demise of the Soviet Union, critics say the Trident should be permanently deep-sixed. So the Pentagon, feeling anxious over budget cuts, is doing some serious PR. For instance, the Navy gave our national correspondent Jamie Gangel an exclusive ride on the USS West Virginia. And she's here this morning to tell us all about it. Good morning, Jamie.
Good morning, Katie. With U.S. bombers and land-based missiles no longer on alert and Russian submarines sitting dockside, a Trident on patrol is just about the last vestige of the Cold War.
It is the most expensive and sophisticated nuclear weapon system. Price tag, $1.5 billion. Each one capable of carrying more than 200 nuclear warheads. Each one capable of leveling an entire nation. The Trident submarine. 13 have been built, 5 more are under construction, all bought and paid for. The Trident's mission has been to hide at sea and survive a first strike, to guarantee the U.S. could counterattack with a devastating blow.
This is the stealth of the Navy. Very, very hard to find.
The captain of the USS West Virginia is Donald McDermott, a 24-year veteran.
You know what countries you're targeting?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you know what your targets are?
Yes, ma'am. As a practice, I don't look up the exact target. I know the type of target we're launched. I really don't want to know the exact spot and land where the missile's going to land.
Why not?
Who cares? I mean, I'm told what to do, when to do it, and I'd rather not think about it.
What's your mission now that the Cold War is over?
We still go to sea. We're still a deterrent force. My job is to go to sea and do what they tell me to do.
Dive, dive. Dive.
170 coming to 160 feet.
What the 160 sailors do at least once a week is this.
Diving out should go to depth 8.
Scope to wash, lorry number 2 scope. 8-2, coming down.
Practice launching nuclear missiles against the former Soviet Union.
Alert 1, alert 1. Man, battle stations, all missiles.
The message is received from the president. The missiles are manned.
Prepare 1, denote 2.
And with a simple, almost silent twitch, the trigger is pulled, and sometimes a test missile is fired.
1, away.
But now that the Cold War is over, the missiles inside these tubes are still aimed at the very same cities where Americans are distributing food and relief and where U.S. businessmen are looking to invest.
That irony, however, is not reflected in the daily routine aboard the West Virginia. Underwater patrols still last 70 days. They train on treadmills specially cushioned for silence, and round the clock continue to drill.
Man, battle stations, torpedo.
Torpedo room is manned for battle stations. Shoot on generated bearing.
Shoot on generated bearing, aye, sir. Making tube 2, ready, no respect. Flying warm-up power.
Shoot. Fire.
Fire, tube 2.
This is a sonar room.
The one thing that has changed, there is no enemy threat visible on the sonar screens. In fact, NBC News has learned there are no Soviet attack submarines anywhere in the Atlantic or the Pacific. What is on the sonar screens?
We'll play with sea life in warm waters, which we are now in the Gulf Stream. A lot of shrimp, whales, porpoise.
Brig ship for patrol quiet, maneuvering aye.
Sonar con aye.
This is no longer the hunt for Red October. It's the hunt for the Red replacement. Without a visible enemy, the Trident is facing a new threat, budget cuts, and it's pulling out all the public relations stops.
They actually sleep right in between the missile tubes. It's so small.
Reporters are offered not only a show-and-tell trip,
One over here.
Helm all ahead 2/3.
but a hands-on opportunity to drive and dive a billion-dollar boat.
Mark your depth dive. 4 feet. Very well dive.
The needle at 0 or on the red dot?
This one here.
Yeah, all the way down.
For secretive submariners whose normal comment is no comment, this kind of access is extraordinary. Critics say the reason is that the submariners have not caught up with the New World Order.
It is a level of readiness and a level of preparedness that is out of whack with what we need in the real world.
Bill Arkin, Nuclear Weapons Director for Greenpeace USA.
It's just no longer necessary. The Soviet Union is no more. We do not have a Russian military adversary. We do not need nuclear weapons for these purposes.
Admiral Roger Bacon, senior submariner at the Pentagon, disagrees.
Some people ask, what are we deterring against? There are thousands of warheads in Russia, Ukraine, Kazakhstan, Belarus. Our sailors are out there on those submarines simply to make sure that no one even thinks about the use of nuclear weapons.
It does make you wonder, though, just one of those $1.5 billion Tridents would pay, Katie, to rebuild everything in Los Angeles that was burnt down, and you could still build 40 new elementary schools. A lot of money.
Wow, something tells me this wasn't exactly the kind of PR the Navy was looking for when they gave you access to the submarine.
They don't know what to do. They want to save these submarines. They say it's the backbone of our defense policy, but the problem is there's no threat out there. The Russian subs are dockside. We're sending relief. Who's the enemy?
Think they'll be mothballed?
I think that they may switch some of them to conventional weapons over time to use against threats coming up in different places as opposed to nuclear.
Okay, Jamie Gangel, thank you so much.
Thank you.
It is 8:47. Bryant's back with Danny Glover of Lethal Weapon 3, but first, this is Today on NBC.
Bomb squad's on the way. There's no bomb in there. How can you be sure that? Well, because it's a full moon. Moon, lunatics everywhere.
Direct from Broadway and the heart of rock and roll comes Buddy, the Buddy Holly story, the sensational hit musical that's raising the roof in London, Australia, and now in theaters across America. The star that had them cheering, the songs that had them bopping, the story that went down in history. Come down for the wildest night out since 1959.
See Buddy at the Kennedy Center. Charge your tickets by phone, 202-467-4600.
Jenny Craig is no stranger to rave reviews. U.S. News & World Report called Jenny Craig the most nutritionally balanced. The San Diego Reader said Jenny Craig is gourmet diet food. Portions are generous and the variety is splendid. And the San Francisco Chronicle, overall, all the components that contribute to successful weight loss. Join now and see if you don't end up with some rave reviews of your own. Call now for our lowest price ever, just $29. Dial direct 1-800-92-JENNY.
I love my Ross Calendar girl. I love my Ross Calendar guy. We get great prices every day of the year.
The top names in children's wear. At department stores, $18. At Ross, $10. Denim shorts in pure cotton. At fine stores, $28. At Ross, $15.
I love my Ross Calendar girl. I love my Ross Calendar guy. We get great prices every day of the year. Love more. Exciting and new. Come aboard. We're expecting you.
Princess Cruises. It's more than a cruise. It's the Love Boat.
Earnings of the first two Lethal Weapon films gave all concerned about, 200 million good reasons to do another sequel. And so it is that Lethal Weapon 3 will open across the country nationwide Friday. Throughout this week, we'll be talking with the film's principals, beginning this morning with Danny Glover, reprising his role as Sergeant Roger Murtaugh. Danny, how you doing?
Good, good.
I made light of the financial reasons up top, but I mean, money had to be a factor in saying yes to this, huh?
Well, it is. Let's not make any bones about it. You know, you do a sequel, number 3, money is a factor in it. And the film is done relatively well. I think the first one made about 65, the second one 145 million domestically.
So this one should go 250, 270?
Oh, well, Warner Brothers hope so.
Do they come to you, as they do sequels, do they come to you each time and say, okay, we realize it's going to cost more to get you involved, and does it work that way?
Well, yeah, it does. I mean, they pay for what they get, I guess, you know, in some sense, you know. And first of all, yes, one of the things they'll try to say, well, maybe we don't need you in this one. You know?
Mel Gibson's first line is, I'm sorry we have to bury Roger. Right?
Bury Roger. Well, we don't need you in this one, you know.
But you never buy into that.
You know, well, well, I said, okay.
Yeah.
Well, something interesting happened with this one, you know.
Why?
Really, because I've been trying to do a film about a relationship between these two homeless men. And we've been trying for 3 years, and Warner Brothers put up half the money to do this film. And
so one good deed begets the other.
Yeah, some of that had to do with the fact that they wanted me to do Lethal 3.
Very nice, little quid pro quo.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Why have the Lethal films been so successful? I mean, I've got my own reasons because I watched them as a fan, but as one who works them.
I mean, for me, as an actor, it's fun to work on. I mean, I'm working with Dick Donner, Richard Donner, the director, and Mel Gibson, and it's really an enjoyable experience. We still enjoy each other. We enjoy being around each other and enjoy really making this film. And we start out with a script that, at best, needed some work on it. But each time we were willing to give of ourselves and really to stretch and make it a little bit funnier, a little bit better, I think.
You and Mel, when you were first coupled in Lethal Weapon, seemed an odd pairing.
Yeah.
It has since become among the best pairings in modern movie making. Yeah. Why does it work?
The relationship between the two men and the respect that the two men have for each other. Yeah. I think the fact that Mel has become a part of this family, I think is another reason that it works.
Are you and Mel close off screen?
I think we're pretty close off screen, you know. I mean, given given we have different agendas, but we find ourselves at the same place sometimes. And actually, Mel is, we're always willing to do something for each other. If Mel asks me to do something because he needs something to be done, I'm there, and we're available to each other in that way.
In this clip, Riggs and Murtaugh are having one of their frequent disagreements, only this time a bomb is involved. Let's check it out.
Bomb squad's on the way. There's no bomb in there. How can you be sure of that? Well, because it's a full moon. Hey, moon, lunatics everywhere. Hey, is that Greek? No, Latin. And you're surprised. Hey, look, there's no bomb in there. It's probably a false alarm. Happened a million times. Guy probably saw a radio on the back seat. Hey, let's not mess with this. Wait for the bomb squad. You're right. You sit tight. I'll be right back. Hey, Riggs. What? You're acting strange, man. What's the matter with you? There's a bomb in that building. No, there's a bomb in that building. There is none. There is a bomb in that building. Oh. You know how come I know there's a bomb in the building? Because I got 8 days to retirement, and I will not make a stupid mistake. Look, there is no bomb in that building. I will bet vital parts of my anatomy to the fact. Now, look, just look. Trust me. Okay, trust me. That's usually my first mistake.
With sequels, Danny, how much do you inevitably wind up competing with the first two for laughs, action, thrills, etc.?
I would have to say that the formula is there, that we've used some of that formula, you know, what works. You know, certainly the end of the two worked well. The relationship, the bonding. So you try to find more of that bonding. Yeah. The humor worked well. The introduction of Joe Pesci, who was just brilliant in the second.
Well, I was going to say, Joe gained a foothold in Lethal 2, and now, you know, this is almost Baby Makes 3 in the third. Is that one star too many? One male star too many?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I think you'll find it just works. It just works. He reinvents himself, and he comes into our life again. Yeah. And it's so funny, you know. But he remains in. You have the kind of relationship where people come in and they remain there for some reason, you know. Nice. They don't exit. And that's what's so wonderful about that. Maybe it's something about just the chemistry that we created among the three of us.
One final note, and a serious one. As I think most people know, Sergeant Roger Murtaugh is a member of the LAPD.
Yes.
Given recent events, do you wish he weren't?
No, absolutely not. I mean, I don't think that that we can blanket and say that all LAPD policemen or whatever that would abuse people, and I don't want to make that statement, you know, but certainly we know that it goes beyond the LAPD. It goes beyond the kind of frustrations that have gone unattended. The dreams that have been deferred. That's what it's about, you know. So LAPD, of course, has been a vehicle in some ways, you know, but the dreams, the frustration, the tension is still there. Isn't it interesting that how prophetic Grand Canyon seems to be now?
I know that was one of your favorite roles in a while.
Isn't it so interesting, you know?
Feel vindicated, don't you?
Yeah, I certainly did.
Danny Glover, it's always good seeing you. Take care of yourself. We're going to come on back in just a moment, right after we take a break. This is Today on NBC.
And through the cell membrane by the process of osmosis, which brings us to the subject of the plankton. Each plankton is 0.25.
Here's the dealer you can depend on for more value. Chevy Chase Chevyland. Blaze new trails in a new S10. Chevyland value priced $157 a month. Own this new 92 Cavalier. Chevyland value priced $160 a month. Kick up a storm in this new Geo. Chevyland value priced $216 a month. Great selection, superior service. Come buy the cars more people depend on from the dealer you can depend on for more value. Chevy Chase Chevyland. Nobody beats the heartbeat of Bethesda. Nobody.
We're losing our shirts in this country. We're losing our dresses, too. In fact, we're in danger of losing the U.S. clothing and home fashions industry. Over 500,000 people have lost jobs already. And the worst part is, we're doing this to ourselves because we're buying so many imports. The time to look out for ourselves is now. Buy American, and we won't have to throw in the towel.
Hi, Jonathan. We're here today in front of the Salt River talking to people about King's Dominion's new water park. We're sort of comparing the two experiences. How many rivers are there here?
How many rapids, you mean?
No, just rivers.
In Arizona?
No, just right here.
This is just one river here.
Yeah, just see, at King's Dominion, they've got 15 water slides. So you're pretty much spending the day trying to avoid drowning?
Best I can, yeah.
Get King's Dominion $4 off coupons from Giant Food.
2 hot dogs with mustard.
Got ketchup and onion.
You sell hot dogs, you don't have mustard?
Got ketchup and onion. Ketchup and onion.
Right, all right. Ketchup and onions. Who knows, could be good.
Why can we sweep those things by there? Yeah?
Isn't that nice?
Yeah.
Actually, we were remembering that Lethal Weapon 2 was the one with Joe Pesci, so I definitely have seen it.
So you did see Lethal Weapon 2?
Yes, and the one where Danny Glover is stuck on the toilet. I remember that as well.
No
Mine's
doubt
always in the gutter, what can I tell you?
Thank you very much. Probably using the breast pump.
Whoa, enough about the breast pump already.
That's okay, you started it. That does it for us. I should have had my VCR set. I apologize.
I'll get you a copy.
No, don't go that far. Nothing for us on this day. Take care. We'll see you tomorrow.
From the author of Fatal Vision and Blind Faith comes a motion picture based on one family's true story that's become a